everyone. Welcome to another session of Business Data Science with Delali. And if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, please do. Business Data Science with Delali. Yes, the goal of this YouTube channel is to really enable our listeners to actually unlock the value of data to make business impact. And one of such ways is through experimentation. Okay, so today we are going to start a series on experimentation in business. What is experimentation in business? Experimentation is really the process of testing new ideas, new services, new products, and actually measure or compare their impact against a matched control group. Okay, so you have a treatment group, that is a group that is receiving the variable or the new idea that you want to test. Okay, so some people call them test groups. I call them treatment groups. And then you have a control group, which is a like group, just as the treatment group, but they will not be receiving the variable that you are testing, right? So in an experimentation, your goal is to expose the test group to a particular treatment and see the impact of that compared to another matched group, which is called the control group. And like I said, this is going to be a series, so we'll explain the details of this more and more. But one of the very important questions that you will want to answer would be, why do businesses even need experimentation, right? For example, why do marketing people want to give one treatment to a group? For example, give them a marketing offer and then not give a particular group a marketing offer, right? Why do businesses want to experiment? There are several reasons why businesses would like to experiment, and in this video I will describe a few. Number one is for innovation. Okay, the best way to innovate, or the most cost-effective way to innovate, is by running experiments on small groups, right? So that you don't spend a lot of money implementing your treatment or your new product on a large scale, but you innovate by testing ideas on small scale and measure the impact. And if the outcome is encouraging or you like it, then you kind of implement it. So innovation is one way where businesses actually experiment. Okay, another reason why businesses experiment is really to understand consumer behavior or customer behavior. Many times you have ideas, but you don't know if you do it how customers will react. And one way to actually do that is through experimentation. So for example, let's say you want to actually drive a lot of traffic to your store and you are not quite sure which marketing offer will drive that. You could experiment. So you can do something like, okay, this group, give them buy one get one free. Or this group give them something like 30% off if you spend $100 or more, right? And then you will try to see which of these marketing offers will bring more traffic to your store or to your website, right? So one of the reasons for experimentation is really to understand customer behavior. Okay, another reason where we do experimentation is really to actually bring product improvement. Okay, now what is product improvement? So many products, for example, Facebook is a product, right? We all use Facebook. We go there, we like messages, we comment, but the Facebook wants to improve product. They want to improve the product Facebook, and one way to do that is by introducing features and see how customers are engaged or how users are engaged with those new features. A very easy example was when Facebook was introducing the reels, the short videos that now goes viral. When they were introducing that, they actually experimented that. They didn't just like implement that on everybody. They actually put the reels a feature on some group of users, and then they noticed that, oh yeah, people are engaging more with the reels than even the regular short videos that people post, right? So then they realized that, okay, now we can actually make our product better for our users to enjoy by actually making reels a permanent feature. So now we all have reels in Facebook, right? So one of the reasons where we experiment is really for product improvement. Another reason why we actually do experimentation is Risk management, okay? Experimentation offers you a good way to actually manage risk without actually breaking anything in production, or anything that customers actually like already. An example that comes to mind with that is when I was actually working with a credit card company. They wanted to introduce annual fee, which is a fee that you charge the members of this credit card users. And we were actually concerned that maybe by introducing annual fees, some members will actually cancel their credit card because they may not want to pay. But we also know that by introducing annual fees, we can give more benefit to the users and also actually make more money, right? So how do we test that without risking people canceling their credit card? Well, the way to do that, you have to work, of course, in the realms of regulations and what is allowed. But how we did that was to actually introduce the annual fee to a small group of people with the benefit that it will bring to them, and see if they will like it or if this will make them cancel their card. So one thing that you realize that in every experimentation, you have something that you want to measure. You have a metric that you want to measure, and based on that metric, you make a decision of if this is a good thing or not. So risk management is one of the very important reasons where we do experimentation. One other reason where we do experimentation is to establish causality. Okay, in fact, experimentation is the single most important way to establish causality. How can you say that A is caused by B or B is caused by A, right? An easy way to do that is by doing the experimentation and then introducing the treatment A and see if it leads to the outcome B, right? In fact, an example of a causal inference or causality establishment with experimentation could be something like, if you look at all your customers who are likely to churn, maybe you are a subscription business like AT&T or T-Mobile, where people pay $50 every month to use your phone service, and you realize that, well, maybe actually by giving them some discounted type of pricing, it will cause them to stay and not churn. Okay, so you are trying to establish causality. What you could do is you could look at all customers that are likely to churn and then give some of them discounted pricing, and then some of them don't do the discounted pricing, and measure what percent of them that would churn between your treatment group, which is the group that received the discounted pricing, versus a control group, which is the group that did not receive anything. And then you measure if introducing discount causes them to not churn. Okay, so you want to understand if introducing discounted pricing causes them to not churn. Okay, so that's actually another reason for running experimentation. So finally, experimentation is just needed for continuous learning and improvement, right? You learn something, you introduce something new, you learn, and then you try to improve on it. You learn, and then you improve, and then you optimize. So experimentation is very important for companies to be competitive, or to build themselves competitive advantage, okay, by introducing new things and measuring the output or the performance, and then testing and experimenting and all of that. So in a nutshell, there are many reasons to really do experimentation: for innovation, for product development, adding new product features, for risk management reasons, for establishing causality, for really understanding customer behavior, and many other reasons. Okay, so experimentation is very, very, very important, and is something that data folks can actually help their organizations to leverage the data from those experimentation learnings to improve their business. Okay, so what things can be experimented in business? Well, several things in business can actually be experimented. Of course, some of them are harder to experiment than others, but in general, several things really can be experimented. For example, marketing campaigns, marketing offers, which offers work better for which customer segment groups. Those type of things can really be experimented. Another common thing that is experimented is website designs. Okay, where do you place certain product to increase conversion rate or to increase click-through rate of the product? So website designs, how to place things on a website. Those type of things can easily be experimented. Different benefits of a loyalty program, for example, can be experimented. You could experiment on different loyalty program benefits and see which one will increase customer take rate of those products. That can be easily experimented. Maybe you are launching new product features, so product features are things that can be experimented. Even sales technique, okay, you could experiment different sales technique and see which one will help you win sales deals. So sales technique can be experimented. Things like working different hour schedules, right, to see which of these will be better for employees or even from your potential customers. You could experiment that, right? Maybe pricing strategies, right? You want to actually adopt new pricing. Yes, you could experiment new pricing strategies. Like I said, several things can be really experimented. Another good example of things that can be experimented is like restaurant, right? Restaurant menu. You may change your menu and see if your customers would like this type of menu. In manufacturing, there are several examples that you can truly experiment. So a lot of things can easily be experimented. And who all are involved in experimentation? I think that's another question that we'd like to answer. Who all are involved in experimentation in business? Well, first of all, you really have to make sure that there's a business stakeholder. So this is not something that a data person can stand up and say, hey, I'm a data guy, I want to experiment. No, that's not how it works. Usually it's a business stakeholder who actually is really interested in this process or bought into your idea that you want to experiment something, right? So there's a business stakeholder, and this business stakeholder can be a marketing manager based on the department that you are working with. It could be an engineer, it could be a product manager, or it could be a product lead. It could be anybody in business who is interested in making some innovation or some improvement in a business process or a business a business situation, or introducing a new service. Okay, and then there's a data person. So at least a data analyst or data scientist is involved, right? So many people can be involved in an experimentation in a business setup, but most importantly, a business stakeholder and a data person. Okay, so what are the general steps involved in an experimentation, particularly in a business setting? I'm going to enumerate some 5 steps for you today, but in subsequent videos I will take each step and explain it in detail. Okay, so today we're just going to list down the steps. Okay, step number 1 is to define the objective of your experiment and formulate the hypothesis that you are testing. Okay, that is very important. Without that, you cannot even start an experiment. Okay, the second step is to truly select and align on the metric of success, right? How will you measure the outcome of this experiment? That's the second step. You really need to make sure that you and your stakeholders define this. If you are a data scientist or if you are a stakeholder, you have to make sure that you actually discuss with a data person how you are going to measure the outcome of this experiment. Okay, and then the third step is to actually design and implement the experiment. Now, this third step is very loaded. This alone can be a 2-hour session, but we will talk more about that. So that's the third step: define, design, and actually implement the experiment. Okay. And the step number 4 is to analyze the experimentation result. Okay, do all kinds of analysis to understand the outcome of the experiment, to check statistical significance, which again we'll talk about later. And then step number 5 is to really view the result, make your conclusion, and roll out your new learning given the constraints of the business. So these are generally the steps involved in an experiment, particularly in a business setting. And please look out for future videos where we will take each of these steps and dive into them, so you can have a better understanding of experimentation in business. Talk to you later. Bye.